What's up, everyone? A big Waluigi welcome to me newest video. I know I haven't made a video for a little while. I think it's been about a month now, and I guess it's just because being a YouTuber can be harder than you think. But now I've come back with, I think, a pretty good video. I hope that you all enjoy it. Now, I've long thought about this. Who is the most developed character in the entire Dragon Ball series? And I'm talking about between Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, all of the shows I bring into account, and even the movies too. Now, there's one character that many people point to, and I would say he probably is the second most developed character, and that is Vegeta, who we see start off as a very evil villain, and then he becomes somewhat of an anti-hero, and then he becomes full-fledged good, pretty much, on Dragon Ball Super. And a lot of people, I would sort of disagree. They say Goku is probably the simplest character, but I think there's a lot of complexity within the simplicity of his character, because there's obviously some underlying thing with Goku that is very hard to pin down. But now I want to go into who is the most developed character in all of Dragon Ball, and that would be the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza. And I have drawn a picture here. Now, I have not completed the picture because I think that Frieza's character is incomplete right now. It's still under development. Frieza's character, I think that in the future we will see him develop even more. But and it's also very hard to match the proportions on both sides. And you can tell I wrote in the title of the picture here, I wrote Spectacular Third Form Freeza-sama, and I put Sama because that is the Japanese version, and I'm trying to pay homage to the original version. And I drew third form because Frieza, when we first see him, he is the first character to have all these multiple forms, and even still I would say that his forms are the most creative and the most varying of any character we've seen on Dragon Ball. Frieza and the third form, I think, is the most creative form. It looks unlike anything we have ever seen before, so that's one of the reasons I chose to use the third form. But as for Frieza being the most developed in all of Dragon Ball, when we first see Frieza, he is pure evil. No doubt in anybody's mind that this is the most evil character in all of Dragon Ball history. He has absolutely no attachment to anybody, really, at least no attachment that doesn't serve his own power and his own interest. Frieza will not hesitate to kill who was a supposed ally in the blink of an eye if it serves his own power. And as we see through the arc when he's fighting Goku, he has a very deep resentment of Saiyans, and that goes back through ages when he killed off the Saiyans to stop them from being able to rival his power at some point in the future. So that adds to the complexity of the mindset that he would go so far as to commit an entire genocide to serve his own means. But as we see Frieza, he goes to hell. He still is very evil. Even when he's in hell, he doesn't really repent at all. He's still just this pure evil being with such high resentment for Saiyans. But now we see him in the Super arc, and it's a little bit more ambiguous. He is helping the Universe 7 team. He is helping more than even anybody would have expected. What he does for Gohan at one point in killing Frost is nobody would have ever expected that. Frieza has come such a long way. Even at the end, when he is revived, you can sort of, at least I could sort of see in his response that he wants to go back to hell because he can't stand seeing the happiness, and then Whis leans in and brings him back to life. You can kind of see that he's sort of changed. Even in that remark, you can sort of feel an emotion that you never experienced from Frieza before. He even respects Goku now, and he gave Goku the floor to fight Dylan because he knew he couldn't beat Dylan. It just shows that he has advanced so much, has respect for the Saiyans now, even helped to save the universe. When you get right down to it, you could say Frieza's contributions now have led to the saving of more lives than he ever took away. So by far, in my opinion, with this new Super Dragon Ball Super, by far, Frieza is the most developed character. From being completely pure evil to gaining some respect for the Saiyans he once had such resentment for, to now not really understanding what his full motives are. Sure, we think that he wants to become one of the gods in Dragon Ball. He wants to be the, overall ruler of it all. But when you see the respect he gained for the Saiyans and the really earnest work he did to save Universe 7, I think that he may be headed on a path. Maybe it'll be even more bumpy than Vegeta was, but I think he could actually be a good guy in the future. So yes, I would say by far in the Dragon Ball series, Freeza-sama is the most developed character.